Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And today's knife is the Reate Knives K3, which is one of their in-house designs. And being that this is not a brand new model, and there's a good bit of reviews on these models already, and it's an exceptionally made knife. You know, only minor gripes I could find is that the sharpening choil could have been extended by a hair. You can see the little smile back there, not hurting the functionality whatsoever. and you know, some people, it may not like the price tag. It's almost $400 knife. I understand that. But if you like this knife and it does it for you, I definitely say go for it, especially after you watch my usage and testing video. And a real quick warning, some of the things I do with this knife in the test would probably void your warranty. So I did it so you don't have to, just in case you ever had to use your knife in that manner, you know that I can handle it. And you definitely want to watch the use and testing video on this guy, because you don't see a lot of people putting, you know, sub $400 knife to any type of use. So I hope y'all like that. Let me know what y'all think. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. If you have this knife, let me know what you think about it. And off to the testing. Nylon rope, braided nylon. See how well it cuts through this. Little bit of force, but I was able to get through it. Let's try doubling it up. This is going to be a little tougher. And I was able to get through it. Now I did have to put a lot of force through there, but it was able to cut it. Easy does it. Bungee, this is used in scaffolding, nice and thick stuff. Let's see if I can show you the inside core. Here's the core, it's got a bunch of little bitty rubber bungees in there. Let's check it out. Like butter. Let's see. Cut two of them up. Easy does it. And let's see, I don't know if I better hold this like this, but I could try. Whoop. Goes through there very easily. And as you can see, doing a perfect job on there. It's not tearing. Great job. Check that tip out. That's just my era. Hands are shaking. Still razor sharp. Here's a lockup, still good. Action, still good. Harness material. It's pretty hard to cut this webbing, so we'll see if we can get through it with this knife. Wow. And as you can see, it's got this webbing and it's got this nylon bungee type thing in there, but it looks like we cut. Let's try cutting with this bungee in the inside. Wow. And this is what's inside of there. You got this thicker piece right there. That, cut it without an issue whatsoever. I was actually pretty surprised. It was hard for me to cut it with another knife the other day. Let's see if I can cut it like this. This would represent a seatbelt, I guess you could call it. And does a great job. Now, this part right here is double walled. Let's try to get through that right there. I'll be shocked if it can get through it. And voila. Bam. Very impressive. Let's check. Still sharp. Still razor sharp. Lockup's still good. Putting a good bit of pressure on this guy. Bam. Put up a little bit of twisted sisal rope. Same size as Pete does at Cedric and Ada. We're just gonna cut up a little. See how the edge holds up. And see how comfortable it is. And this is wearing the factory edge too, people. Just trying to show out of box how it's gonna last and how well it's gonna do. I'm cutting into this wood board. Definitely putting some abrasion on this edge, so I'll be surprised if it doesn't affect the edge whatsoever, because this board's not clean underneath me. So there you go. Let's see, let me make sure the edge still feels good. Let's see, still got a little bit of paper left. Let's check it out. Still sharp. Still doing good. There's the lockup after putting all that pressure. Still smooth. Still fires out. Try cutting some of this Beverage hose, I think it is. It's got that nylon braiding in it. Rather thick. So I can get through it. Let me zoom in a little bit. It's a little tough, but it gets through it. Let's try shaving some. If you're skinning wire at work, you can definitely get the job done. Now we do a little wood carving with the K3. And no, I'm not a woodsman. I only do this to check the ergos, because you got to put usually a lot of pressure down. So let's just see. And see, in a pinch, if you needed to use this for some feather sticks, could you use it? So far, pretty comfortable, got pretty good control. When you're bearing down, this portion kind of digs in. It's not bad, but I do feel it. Not something I'd want to do this for extended period of time, but in a pinch, you could do it. There you go. Dogs are going crazy. Sorry if I can hear that. Thick saddle leather right here. Let's see how well it cuts through that. Now there's a lot of resistance to some thick leather. It did cut it cleanly, as you can see. Oh, maybe not. There we go. And let's do some slicing. Nice clean cut there. Very, very like butter. And as you can see, it's cutting it very cleanly. There we go. What about the test tip? Let's see. Still sharp. Bam. We're gonna test the tip strength on this guy. Got these blocks of cardboard. Just want to see how well it penetrates. Got a Kevlar glove on this one. We're gonna do light force first. And as you can see, didn't go through the whole way. We'll step it up a notch. And didn't make it all the way through, but good penetration. Not that I'd ever stab anything with a knife, but if you had to, we'll give it one more go. And I'm gonna get a little bit harder on this one. Still about the same. About as hard as I'm gonna stab something with a knife. There you go. Yeah, it's got a robust tip. Just gonna test out the tip. I am putting Kevlar lined gloves on just in case it were to fold on me or something. There's your lockup. Still sitting at the same spot. Let's see. My hand's locked in really good. Tip still in check. I'm not trying to break this knife, so just showing you that it can handle it. Tip is still completely in contact, and there's the hole that it made. So I give that a plus. Lockup's about still the same. There you go. No up and down. Absolutely no play up or down, left or right. This thing has been a bank vault ever since got it. Definitely think this is a hard use knife. Very comfortable if you had to do the stabbing. Action's still good. You can use it with gloves. Whoop, I say that. You still use it with gloves. You can disengage it with gloves. And these are very thick gloves. Nice and comfortable. Mild batoning. Definitely not something I'd recommend, but just test the hard use nature of this knife out. And this is very, very light. Very light batoning. And probably void your warranty, but just checking it out. Excellent. This is kiln dried wood as well. So even though it's small, it is a little bit harder to get through. Just for a chimenea. As you can see, this stuff not wanting to split. There you go. There's your lockup, still in the same place. No stick. No up and down, no left or right. I give that a win. Especially if you need a great work knife. I know it's a little pricey for that, but there you go. These zip ties, massive zip ties. You can see the big old thing. Let's see. Definitely not my first choice of what I would use to cut a zip tie with because it usually slides, but let's see how well this goes through. There it goes. Nice and thick too, you can see that. See how well it cuts upward. Zip tie keeps bending, so I don't call that a fail for the knife. There you go. Super smooth. A mild wire. This is just a extension cord. Let's see how well it cuts through. Bam. Clean cut. And should definitely not have any damage. No damage. No damage. Let's do that again. Get a little bit closer. Bam. Bam. Cut through it nicely. And as you see, it's just a little bit of copper. Definitely shouldn't affect the knife. And no damage done to the knife whatsoever. And check the sharpness. Still sharp. Make sure there's no snags. No snags. Don't recommend doing this with your knife. Got 3 copper wires. We're gonna see if this guy can get through them with using my baton, my wood baton. You can see. Bam. Nice clean cut. There's your lockup. No up or down, no left or right. No damage to the edge whatsoever. And let's see if it dogged it out any. Here's our piece of paper. Still sharp. I'd give this guy a win. Definitely working sharp, and this is the factory edge here, people. Now, if you cut slow, you could probably get some dulling. See a little bit there. But really not bad. For all that cutting, action's still good. There's the lockup still in the same place. Absolutely no movement at all. Super, super impressed. There you go. That's the Reate K3.